Okay, there it is. There's the button. I can never find this damn thing. I'm pushing this thing back like 2 inches every time I activate it. Okay, Asiago, I gotta cover you up now. Gotta put the music higher because I can't see it now. Alright, Bango. Okay, let's get started. Let's turn it over. Who's ready? I'm ready. Let's get going. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Hardcorn, and we're back today with more Action Taimanin. We're ringing in the Christmas season this year with another new character that's coming next week, and we've got to get ready for her. We've got Kichi Azusa on the way, but we've also got a whole bunch of stuff that's coming out there too. We went over the rerun packages they went over with the newsletter the other day. But in case you missed it, it's a lot of reruns and stuff. Like we've got Noah's rerunning. We've got Ingrid's obviously rerunning. You get to get Corporate Night again. You don't get the supporters again as well. But that's the long and the short of it is that, you know, unfortunately you don't get the supporters to run again, but sometimes you just don't miss out very much on it. But in other words, how's everybody doing today? Did y'all have a nice Thanksgiving? Did you have a good time with it? I certainly had a good time at my Thanksgiving. I went to work, and then after work, I went to my parents' house in the middle of the night. Thankfully, they tend to work in the evening, so I get to see them, and I wasn't too worried about that. But I'm glad they stayed up to see me, though, which I really appreciate that. I got to see my uncle as well, who I don't usually get to see in the first place. He's kind of a deadbeat sometimes, but hey, he certainly has something to say every time I've seen him. So how'd your guys' Thanksgiving go? Did you guys have the fun political commentary or the weird awkward moment where at the kids' table or something? Because I effectively had 2 Thanksgivings for the most part. Mine was the Saturday before because my mom's birthday was, I think, the day after, and this last Thursday when my grandma came over. Alright, but first, let's go check out some character stuff. Rinko is going to be sharing weapons with Azusa, so we are going to use Rinko as much as possible today to get ourselves ready for the situation. Phantom Hunter out. Oh, that's right, I got it the same color as her hair, which I was really happy about. I remember we farmed this on stream, too. What Rinko costumes am I missing anyways? I'm only ever missing Heavenly Moonflower. This has never been reran for the most part. What's up, Jeff? What's up? Alright. So she's going to be sharing weapons, and all I have right now is... Let's see. Leyline is still very good. That's going to be a mainstay for Azusa, I know that. I just hope Azusa doesn't... I hope Azusa doesn't suffer from the same things that Rinko does. And that her ass gets locked up on like anything that gets hit. Let's see, we've got 4-5 Yonigumo. In Essentia Blue, we keep that. It's an event weapon. Mackerel, I need to probably get those in there. But I already have... Oh, cool. I forgot about that. The thing is, I think Rinko is the first ever character... Like, I'm thinking all the way back in 2019... Like, she was the first character to ever get into the game besides the founding 3 characters. So, if you have been playing for a long time, it is an inevitability that you will pick up like a bunch of Rinko's gear. But as time has went on, I think I only got a 5/5 copy of Kieran, I think, in the last 6 months. It's very hard to get a lot of the gear for these girls in the first place. Is the Blue Rose Sword ever any good? If you really liked using, what is it? Not Yugen Goku, that's for sure Nui. It's the Mugen Hoei. If you use Mugen Hoei a lot, it helps. I think it made what does it do? It makes the bullets faster and do more damage. It deals more damage, decreases the remaining cooldown time, and it reactivates every 10 seconds. So it's effectively every usage. No, This I got this thing and I eventually forgot about it. Because mostly what I use that thing for is so I can get Blue Lady. Blue Lady's is one of my favorite costumes. I like it. Because all Rinko has ever needed since like her inception is Leyline and Chosu. It gives her demon advantage, and it gives her double wind slice and 44% more skill damage. It is the single most like important weapon for her. It's like, my goodness, this thing is... It still is the only weapon you're ever going to use for her to this day. Rinko got a renewal as well, if you guys remember that. It was very uneventful, to say the least, because it made her shinier. I cannot wait to... oh, here's the thing about it. I cannot wait to get the Azusa friend costume. Like, I've been getting ready for it as well, because I want to get this same color for her. Why does it do that? Why is it working so hard to load the assets? I want to get this color for them so they can share, because there's some things I want to do on like the release day for Azusa, because I want to go in the private room and pose the both of them together fighting. So I need to practice a little bit on that. Because I think I have most of every Rinko's costumes, besides like ones that stay forever. I don't think they've ever reran Heavenly Moonflower. Yeah, it will be 2 years at this point that they haven't had it back. It's, I think, one of the game's earliest costumes too. Like, it released year one, and then it was released in 2019. Because the way you were supposed to get this costume originally is that you had to... there was a gacha, you rolled for it, and I think it's like you either did a certain amount and you got it, or you have to roll for the costume. They stopped doing that after this. It was the same situation, I think, with Yukikaze as well. But in other news, we've got to get it farming. Let's put on some skills for her. Let's see. What do we want to take? We're obviously gonna have Wind Slice. I wish her renewal kind of worked on like Mugen Hoei's the ending animation for it, because it's like Kurenai. It's the same situation to Kurenai's Stormfang, where she would throw the object at the enemy, and then she has a long recovery inside it as well. Like, look at this. It like she charges it up, it leaves her hand, and then she gets to go. That lasts a lot longer than you think. You can't cancel it by dashing or anything like that, or buffering an input. You just have to sit there and let her do her thing. Use the shift. Wind Slice, Mugen Hoei. We need Violent Slash. We get supporters, because we want to blow them straight up. Where's Margaret? There she is. This is the supporter you get from this event, Marguerite Lamorak. She, you get to increase your healing effect on human-type characters, and damage dealt by human-type characters is increased by 26%. The thing with this supporter is that not a lot of them have really healing on green. That's usually a damage setup for them. So when you have a human character that heals with green, that may be in the future or something, who knows, maybe even Azusa could get that. But the human type increase to damage, very worthwhile, because they either get like a melee bonus or something like that, but typically most people just run green and forget about it. Who'll be our third? Sure, we'll use Sasawachi Ichika. She does a bleed explosion. You're gonna steal Dark Flame Ingrid's color. You want purple armor with high gloss metal effects. It's very hard to get this, because since a lot of these have like really detailed metal textures, everything is reflective. So you actually have to get a dark color for this instead of a light color. Then you make it look really cool for her. But thankfully, we're on +5 today for the ability to farm, so I'll be able to just blaze straight through this. No, she's an assist type, isn't it? Yeah. I remember the other day I went actually to go. I was looking at like supporter effects and like supporter setups for what my stuff is. Have you used stats training for? I have not. I'll be honest. As much as I like Rinko, I don't use her a lot because she doesn't do much for me besides being pretty, and fighting with her is very annoying. As much as I appreciate her and the way she looks, she doesn't play very well. Oh, I need to crank up the volume. Call this shit Nikki or whatever, because I gotta turn up the volume. Turn on action there. There we go. I still got it. She doesn't have course correction. I wish she did. We need support. We need mental support more than likely. So what do you guys think Azusa is going to play like? Oh, I remember this is a Halloween event. Like Christmas and Halloween together. It's like we have we have Halloween candy canes. Okay. You know what other character has the eyes closed, all-knowing trope? One of my favorite characters in Grand Blue Fantasy, which is Galleon. I love me some Galleon. I really do. I think I remember. I don't play that game as much anymore, or if at all. But whenever I see she gets a new unit, I go out there and I play the game. I love that. I have both Summer Galleon, Original Galleon. They're both ringed, of course. It's like, yes, that is the shit, man. Kaze Kitty. That's like one of the things with Rinko in the first place is that she is like a year zero character, and she still plays like it for the most part. I imagine they'd also give Azusa some sort of like passive or whatever. Make her like, oh, she got blade lineage or something, or all-seeing eye. All-seeing third eye or whatever. I wish Rinko was one of the like 800 or 1000 gem characters. Like they should honestly update that sort of thing where it's like, no, they did that in the past. I know they have, because like Rinko is our girl's certainly fallen off a little bit, and it's also we're heading into the fifth year of the game itself. Because I think, what is it, in 2019, it released in Japan at like, I want to say like December or something. It was like right before Christmas because I remember being off work at the time for that. So I want to say it's like we're obviously going to head into year 5. So it's like these like year 0 characters really should have a they really need a discount on gems, because that would really be helpful for like newer players. Like they did that because I think, what is it? Murasaki costs 1,000 herself, I think. And the founding 3 characters are like 800 gems apiece. Sue is also 1,000. You guys ever played Zenless Zone Zero before? Would you guys like to see that in the future? Because I've been working pretty hard on trying to make sure it actually runs correctly, because I would love to stream that. That is a game that's like, that's fun. That's really a lot of fun. I've been having a good time with that. I don't like some of the stuff in there at all. But then when you actually start playing the game itself, it's like, that feels good. It really does. That is... I don't like the way that they have the monetization in it. If I want to pay, I don't want to do what they do in there. I've always disliked the 50-50 system for Hoyo stuff. It just feels really bad. Like, I can still lose even though I've hit to the pity system. I'm like, no thank you. I'm not having that. That's something I maintain to this day. That's why I will not play Genshin. But I've spent the last like 2 weeks trying to level up the proxy account for Zenless Zone Zero. And it's like, now I'm up to the point where I've unlocked a lot of the stuff. So you can actually go there and do that. Okay, it did hit it. Oh, that's cool. Wow, they have like a fake boarded up window with all the hands coming out. I remember this stage. I remember I actually complimented them for putting like such detail on the Halloween stage for this, because it looks really cool. It's like the most detailed one that they have for it. Even though it's just a bunch of reused assets, it's really cozy. I don't know. This is like the first ever Hoyo game I've played. But whenever before I go into like a new gacha game or something, I look at their monetization features. Not for like creator affiliates or something, but like, how do you get units for cheap? What is the minimum amount of money I can spend? And for the most part, it's like I can do pretty okay with like the default like 4 units I have, which is like the Cunning Hare's team and like the Worldly Jigsaw lady. I forget what her name is. Come on, Rinko, don't fucking do that. Are you gonna make Azusa's Rinko outfit? I am. I am most certainly gonna do that. Because I like Rinko's outfit. In fact, I wish more characters could have other characters' outfits, because I would love to have Rinko's outfit on everybody. Or Azusa's outfit on them. I know people say Zenless Zone Zero is like, it's funny, but it's like, I remember I was talking with my cousin last week, and she was playing it, and it's like, you know, I told her like, I do not like the dialogue in that game at all. I like playing the game, but I don't like listening to those characters speak. Like if you've ever seen the funny Vine Sauce clip where where they say, what is it? He's playing this one game where it's like, where you look at pictures and you get to manifest it into the world and play inside the picture. It's like, it's not Fatal Frame. It's something else. It's like Viewfinder or something. Anyways, the narrator in the game is like, it's supposed to be like a Stanley Parable situation. So he's like, so she says like, did you just shift reality? And then he just mutes the game, and he mutes all the voices immediately. That is literally me when I played Zenless Zone Zero for the first time. I did not want to ever hear like Nicole or Billy or Andy speak ever again. I just can't do that. Billy is much more tolerable, and the same thing with Andy, but I do not ever want to hear Nicole speak again. Like that is a disgusting. It just disgusts me. I'm like, they really be out here with that sort of shit. I'm like, no, thank you. Turn it off now. Turn it off yesterday. I played it in English, and then I tried it in Japanese, and I wasn't impressed either. So I was just like, I'll do what I normally do, which is just turn them off. I turn everything off but the sound effects in the first place. Like I don't play with any music. That's mostly so I can listen to my own stuff. And then I just only play with the sound effects really low, so I can at least still hear when the prompt comes up to like do the funny dodge and make like a lot of damage. They make the MC sound pretty rude. I'm fine with that. I'd rather him be like rude than a little fucking bitch or something. Save the planet from disaster. Oh yeah, this is when they reintroduce like an old event that has no more 30 combos. Just do not get hit 30 times. I'm glad they're putting that into the game because I absolutely despise the 30 combo thing. Like when you're a new player, you will hit 30 combos easily. And when you're an old player, you don't hit 30 combos at all. Emily has always been the answer for getting 30 combos, because it's like, even with how strong she is, no, the only reason like you could ever use her and be that strong is like if you have like Kaoru. Like New Year Kaoru makes it really easy because it makes like the duration for extending a combo like twice as long. So you can actually just sit there and leave Emily alone and she autos the whole thing. As long as the stage isn't too long, she won't lose her combos. It's like the one use I've found for New Year Azusa, and that's it. Yeah, Murasaki doesn't make that very easy, because obviously she just one-shots about everything. So you'll have 30 enemies in the map, but probably only like 10 hits. That's the one thing with Renko though, she's really, really good at clearing farming stages because all she has is AoE attacks. Especially when they're really tight stages like this. New players have such a wall for buying units. Yeah, since they release, I think, since you've been gone for 2 to 3 years, they release 6 characters a year. If you could hardly believe it, they used to release characters every month. That was honestly kind of rough, because they would release characters every month, and there would be so many like most of the characters that got released on the monthly schedule were absolutely fucking terrible. Like some of the people like here's a really good example. In year 1, they released. It was when the global merge happened. That is 2 characters released at the same time. The next month after that was Noah. That was really rough, because like we get like 2 characters that are traditionally like not that good. 2 characters that were okay at best on release, and then you get Noah, who was one of the first characters to be deemed like absolutely terrible. And then after that is Astaroth. Astaroth had been released year 1 and stayed that way for almost about 3 years. She was perfectly fine then. Oh, cool, with the bonus stage. She was fine then, and they did not like worry about anything with her until years later. Yes, people did complain obviously about her fixed firing mode, but even then it didn't matter because she was that good. Girl is honestly insane. Then after that, Tokiko released. I think after that year they stopped doing monthly releases because it's very hard on resources to do that for players and staff as well. Sue is doing that same time as well. Like every legacy character and a few OCs were like, released a lot. Yes, the restructuring character prices would be honestly such a big improvement, because when you release them for gems, they're always like 1,200 a piece, or you do what I do and you get them for cash beforehand. They need to give away a little bit more of those early game character release vouchers, but even then they still like all our girls are getting power crept at this point. They gave her a new weapon, and that deletes everything. That's all they had to do, because Astaroth beforehand, she was able to just annihilate everything that got in her way. She had no problems. All they did with her renewal was just make like small tweaks, and it made her better. There's like no other better weapon in the game. She just gets to dual cast one of her best skill. See, that's the thing too. I really wish they would release more SR supporters, because a lot of these supporters we get in the first place are fucking awful. They're either way too complex to be useful, and they're limited, or they're so simple and they're in events that we don't see anymore. Like the SRs we start off in the game to get, those are fine. In fact, you can use them directly to endgame and it won't matter. Because like stuff like, what is it, Homura, the cooldown supporter girl for time attack, Faust for machine damage, all kinds of stuff. Because some of those supporters that we get for URs really should have been SRs in the first place. Ooh, Title Tempest, bad future. Hell yeah. Split. Like, a thing that I don't like doing is whenever, like, the action time in Discord, when someone asks about, like, hey, can somebody give me a build or give me, like, direction regarding these supporters? The supporters, I'm like a new player, I need help in deciding, like, how I want to do this. Okay, you are not gonna like what you're gonna get in terms of an answer, because it's you've been playing, you haven't played. So the unfortunate nature of the situation is that you're behind, you don't see these items. However, what the game does give you in terms of reruns for events and new stuff coming out, it's there. They're just really, really awful at making sure that you can get new players up to speed. Because it makes them very disheartened to go over and try VR and then get totally folded, and they don't know what to do. Split. I love her ult too. Is she just like, I'm gonna just suck up a meteor from outer space, slash it in half, and then just drop rocks on you like it's like fucking Gen 1 Pokemon. Rock slide, baby. And yes, Francis, I don't have Francis's outfit pack yet because it kind of annoys me that, like, why did they give... Francis is not very good to play in, like, most aspects because of her inability to make those stacks. If you want to actually play her stacks build correctly, you have to get this. And it's a hyper limited item. They ain't gonna rerun that shit anytime soon. Like, it really sucks. Like, I call it the $45 hot fix. It's so fucking stupid. Let's change your clothes. Like, why would you want to ever just do that? Ooh, let's do this. And speaking of limited packages, here's Ito Grandmaster. This is a... Can you actually color it? Yeah. I think this is the first limited package I ever bought. Oh, the memories. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Keep that. Need accent pieces. I want to keep that purple. No. Yeah. Yeah, that's where it comes from. It gives her also... what does it do? It gives her her single best weapon, and also gives her one of her worst supporters. Ah, can it be darker? No, it's supposed to be different that way. Nice. Ito Grandmaster. Like, the game traditionally gives out very, very good free supporters, and the limiteds are actually some of the worst in the game. Like, barring, I think probably it's about 20 limited supporters in the game. Only 20 limiteds actually feel required to make extreme progress. And, like, the rest of them are just, like, either too niche to be useful, or they're just, like, total crap. Like, ugh, terrible. It's, like, awful stuff. So if you're able to keep up with, like, free supporters and stuff like that, that is, like, the way to go with the game. You will obviously... That's another thing I have with this game, too, is the pool for items is so limited. Not limited, but it's so diluted. To get anything worthwhile, you have to go through, like, the rotation system. And it's like, even then, that's a crapshoot as well. How many do we have? 77, 37. I just remembered about that. Since you said butterfly weapon, we're gonna go get that. Because I have... There it is. That's for... That's for... No, wow. I almost messed that up. There it is. Fits for Rinko. Because we want 3 of those. Because I want to have that ready for when Azusa comes out. because what is it? When you give this the butterfly weapon that Asagi has to Lina, it makes Lina feel extremely good to play. That is well, that's the thing. Lina was already a really good feeling character in the first place. It having more speed behind her just made her like that much good, that much more fun. Azusa, the Azusa supporter itself is specifically meant for like VR. It's more penetration for human characters. In fact, we have it in the first place. Let's just go take a look. Where are you, Azusa? Oh no, I can't find her. I have this supporter. I know I do. There she is. It makes human characters faster. It's in blue, and it gives penetration to more to ally characters. Decreases critical resistance if you have it in the main slot by 56%. 6 for 10, so it's got 40% downtime. And you're invincible during the casting of her skill. So there's a lot of value in it there, in the fact that it makes a human character faster, and Azusa is going to be human this time around, and increases penetration for allied characters. Traditionally, when you go start climbing in VR, penetration is one of the most valuable things you can have. So allied human type characters, there aren't a lot of VR humans that you use in that mode. It's traditionally dominated by demons. We don't need 2 wind slice this time. Well, let's use this. Let's use Yume Midori. Wow. That makes so much, like, enchantments make such a huge difference. That's effectively like double its stats right there. Phantasma is like the best thing to happen to VR. I love using her there so much. What a character. Because she can simultaneously be damage and also support. Like there's always that nice funny picture of like I think it's like from Gundam ZZ or something like that. But he's like, oh, I'm a healer, and he's like cocking a gun or something. It's pretty great. Because Phantasma's healing is tied to her red, and red traditionally has a lot of damage boosts. It also has some healing boosts. And one of her main healing is tied to that triple red skill. They really were cooking with Phantasma to make her good. And she feels good to play too. Dreamclaw is like, it's a very satisfying series of like her basic string. Like for the most part, she can outright replace Shizuru in most scenarios because she's got AoE, she has AoE behind her, she has multiple forms of CC, she's got debuff application. Like it's honestly like she's really good. I hope they bring the next renewal to someone like Shizuru. Because I will talk up Shizuru all day, but I understand that she is painful to use everywhere else besides VR. Because in VR, she gets the wonderful ability of having more people on the same team. And because of that, she gets to like be her full self and just heal, debuff, slow things down. It's like she's great there. I love it when Rinko does the shift because she does this like bicycle kick hop, and it's like it's just funnier to see her do that. Well, the only way Shizuru can be a buff bot in the first place is if she has her limited weapon that they don't rerun. Like, it was reran one time this year, and then even before that was the release. That weapon is like the thing that makes Shizuru relevant in VR, besides her field and 3 ways of inflicting the defense down. It rounds her out completely. I mean, that's why, like, that's just it. You run Lapis, Phantasma, and Astaroth. You run 3 demons at the same time. And you can now clear just about every floor in VR. That's it. If you don't want to use, wow. I forgot her name when I just said it. If you don't want to use Astaroth, you use Spinel. And you have now melee AoE, ranged AoE, and healing. There's like, you can complete the entire triangle with those 3, or those 4 characters to say the least. Because just like many other people, I'm waiting for oh, I just remembered that it's Kanaloa this week, so we will be seeing VR again, and we have to go pick up Spinel's weapon. Because I think I'm like 2 copies away from getting the 5/5 of that weapon. And the best part is that's one of Spinel's better weapons too, and it's free. Like, Spinel is like one of those characters who just, she's just so much better than like most of the alternatives you get to play the game, because like she gets a shortened basic string to activate her end of string move. That is a learned trait that they have put on in the for the future. Like, they did that with Eleanor as well. Which VR weapons are worth getting? It's usually for characters who it benefits a skill that they use a lot. Spinel's is really important because that lets her cover demons and humans, and it upgrades her blue skill, which is like one of the better things that she gets to run there. Shiranui's, Tokiko's, because it's a free weapon and you don't have to worry about getting it. I'd say Emily's, because it's just like it's free stuff for Emily, but Emily gets free stuff a lot in the first place. Oh, I gotta remember who has weapons in there. Let's see. Let's go over it, and I gotta go over it again in my head. It's let's see. For Mass Taimanin, it's Sakura and Tokiko. Tokiko gets the better of the 2, so it's worth it for her there. Machine Week, it's only Emily, so if you don't have to get Emily's, because Emily's is just fine without it. And the week after, next week is Spider. Spider is Astaroth and Shiranui. So Shiranui's is the one that's more worthwhile out of it, because Astaroth only ever uses Undying Apocalypse. After that is Kanaloa. That's Spinel's weapon, and that's worth it. I think she's the only one who has a weapon in it. We gotta check again. We'll check it after this match. And then after that, it's Ingrid. And Ingrid and Lena have weapons for that. Lena's is much more worth it, because Lena's actually quite good to use in that VR. Ingrid, not so much, because it kind of messes with her targeting, but it's still nice to have Ingrid with increased human damage. Boom. Yeah, I talked about that too. Choir Phantasma is like required almost to play in to more or less high climb in Kanaloa VR, because the ability to remove 5 buffs from enemies, well, 1 buff from 5 enemies, is kind of insane. It makes it so that you can now take this to mass Taimanin. You can't use it in machines because they don't buff themselves. You don't need it in Spider, but you don't need it in Spider. You can obviously use it in Kanaloa to take out the adds invincibility and the boss. And it also works really well in Ingrid too, because it takes off the buff from, it can take off the buffs from Lena. And also from Ingrid too. Let's go to VR for a moment so I don't forget it. Yeah, she's the only one who gets a weapon from this. I mean, if you can permanently lock mass Taimanin, you don't have to worry about anything. Ah, shit, that's right. They have the reset for the week for this. I forgot about that. Because I'm gonna forget. Yep, I missed it. Because I think it resets this Sunday morning. No, I think it resets on Saturdays. So she's still stuck at 4-5 then. Oh, I got 4-5. God, I'm gonna cry. Oh no. It's only a 4-5 weapon that does like a bajillion damage. Yeah, if you had the blue Hebiko supporter, that's honestly the cheapest. Yeah, it is the cheapest and most accessible option, because I think that on call, you have to hit it. You have, like, this is something I cannot stress enough. Miss Hebiko, where are you? In order to make Hebiko actually work, you have to hit this. Like, you have to be in the vicinity of the enemy, because it's like if you miss, if you're not within the area of the enemy and you call this effect and it misses, you don't get to remove any buffs. It's not like that. It's like, it's weird. Because I have been able to miss with this skill before, and I have to sit there for 30 seconds and wait until the buff dispels itself. And the thing is, when you start climbing really high in VR, and you get this wonderful thing called multiple buffs, because Kanaloa, if you're being too slow, will activate both types of the buff, and you cannot do any more damage to her. Like, I think one day, I think it was actually on Thursday, where I showed off, it's like, this is what it looks like at 100, like, this is what Kurenai's weapon will do at 100. It will succeed, but it's too risky, at least for me. So then we got to see Kanaloa will have both the range and the physical buff on her at the same time. It's honestly really, really shitty, because at that point, you're probably going to time out. And that's the thing too, she can do that at low levels as well, because it's timing based. You got it, baby girl. Can you believe it? Azusa, just 3 days away. See, the thing is too, that's like, you don't have to even use the skill. You just have to like have it equipped in your main slot, and it will automatically remove 5. See, that's I don't like that. It's, you know, these are solutions that should be really accessible for everybody. Or instead of limiting that to supporters, how about we can have characters who can remove that themselves? That would be pretty great. That would be honestly really incredible stuff to actually just be able to say, okay, I can finally get rid of this god-awful debuff, or get rid of these awful buffs on enemies. Because I think there's only a few supporters in the game that actually can remove that in the first place. Like, something that doesn't get talked about a lot though is how Francis's new supporter is actually pretty strong, to say the least. Because most people are focused on the whole fact that you now have to get a extremely limited weapon to make Francis's ability useful. While that is, it's very, very annoying to say the least. I really, really hate it. That supporter is that's gonna show up again, not in the sense of like, ooh, for 50,000. It's not gonna show up in the sense of like, oh, it's gonna like, maybe it'll show up back like as a banner in the future. But the problem is that that supporter is pretty ridiculous. We'll have to look at it again, but because I think it's 40% more melee damage, cooldown reduction, and God forbid we're just like, you get to be faster sometimes too. Because that's a supporter that works on everybody. Yeah, you just get one copy of the supporter. Just get it for the collection because, one, you get it for the collection because as time goes on, it gets harder and harder to find these supporters. Like, they have never reran the very first limited Sakura supporter from 5 years ago. And it is almost, no, they've done it one time. It is like, I think I used my voucher so I could actually get like the 7 supporter functions I'm missing. And even then, it's not even that good of a supporter in the first place. It's only built for that one thing. There's a lot of those supporters in this game where they're good at like one thing, and even then they're not that good at it. It's an anti-human. It's like several of them as well. It's like anti-human, increased speed of protect type supporters, and like what, critical rate or something. Like it's good. Like that one supporter is like part of several really good stuff. Did her blade just clip through the sheath? Did it do that? Anyways, let's. How many do we have? 20,000 exactly. Good. Okay, let's see. We've got revolving bat. I didn't talk about this the other day, but you get tipsy after this. Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. It's so good. It's like inherently important if you want to actually use intoxicate with Francis. Like, look at this. When you max this out, and even at a base chance, it has a 50% chance to deal 3 times damage. Stupid. Is it worth spending your 200-day limited supporter voucher on that Sakura? No, it's not. I got that supporter the other day because I don't need anything else. You can live just as well without having to get that Sakura. You do not need to worry about that. This is Wild West Francis though. It's 2040 melee damage. Yeah, it increases your speed by 4% for 8 seconds. Maxes out at 2 stacks, activates every 3 seconds. This is innate. That means you're going to exactly have an 8% speed boost at max that keeps itself alive. I have no idea why this is a thing. Not because it's bad, like a bad thing. This is really good. It's such a small increase in speed. It's like the smallest tweak ever. Almost as if it should have been an update for her. This though is like that stays on a supporter. But this is kind of nuts to think about, because like, okay, I got hit. There's it maxes out at 40% to reset the skill with the longest remaining cooldown time. It activates every 3 seconds. So you get shot 1,000 times. Like you get hit like what? Yeah, like in machines, you'll fight like, you know, when they do the gun sweep. You get hit with that like a couple of times, you'll be able to reset your longest cooldown. You can also, what is it? VR has the skill cooldown increase debuff you can get. So you can actually get to a point where it resets and increases the cooldown at the same time. And then you get to fire a pistol that deals damage equal to 420% of your attack as stun power. And then you get 5 stacks of Tipsy to instantly put yourself into Intoxicate. It's very self-serving to Francis. It's a good supporter, but it's like, why did you make this a paid package? I hate it. This is a much better option though. Everybody pick up infrared and ultraviolet. That's like the best thing ever. Tipsy doesn't give regen. It's the skill itself, Onigoroshi, that gives HP. That gives back HP on hit. No, it gives like 2% of maximum HP on skill hit. No, it's on skill usage, which is that is terrible. That is awful. Oh, we never got ourselves Azusa. Let's give it a try. Come on, baby. Let's give us something good. Nope. Okay. Like, I don't even have these yet. There's like no reason. I don't have them yet because I'm trying to make sure I have points ready for next week. Alright, let's clean out Crusade. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Yeah, you can't like just, it's the same thing with the regular tokens too. Like you can't use them. You have to use those first rather than the you want to pull with gems or something. Because any other game would allow you to use different kinds of currency to complete the role. That's such a strange measure to take with like your game itself. It's like, why would I want to, like, I don't want to use those tokens. I want to use them on something else. So now you have to like skip banners you don't really want to skip. You can't even use like the discounted pull or anything like that. I wonder if that's a thing with like other like a niche gacha series. Like they have these sort of like weird caveats. Like they get caught inside of like, you know, like we can't use gems only or like tokens only or a mix of both. You have to use one first and then to the other. I just think that's such a strange idea. Because like I don't want to use some of that stuff sometimes. Yeah, it did. It did always let you used to use the discount pull in the first place. And then you could actually use it, and then you could be able to use it with your coins after that. I would think they would want you to use your gems more than anything, because that's a hyper-limited resource, and that's one you buy with money. See, the thing is that we have all these, like, complaints. It makes me wonder how many of them actually make it to them in the first place. Oh, you did a tenner for lighter and you didn't get him at all. When does Miyabi come out? Is that in like around Christmas or like January or something? Because I too am waiting for so I can get her when she comes out. That's mostly why I was like, I heard that she's supposed to be the Virgil at home character, and I like those type of characters a lot. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Let's play the game to get started, and hopefully we can get something. She's all ears. She's got the massive old hearing triangles on her. AT still has a few years left on it though, because these strange practices, it's very weird. They really are leaning into that FOMO, that's for sure. Oh, I was remember the other day we were talking about like, all right, they released that Asagi ASMR thing I think last month. That's really cool. I liked that. That was really fun. So they released, I think it was like the other day, they released who is going to be the next character they're going to do that KU100 ASMR stuff with, and it's Kiara. So it's like, all right, that's an instant like no from me. I'm not getting that. Now I'll wait until January to see who's going to get the next one. It's like, oh, it's Kiara? No, thank you. That's not happening. Yeah, it's on DL site. It's there are some hoops you have to jump through to get to use DL site, because it was like, I think earlier this year they stopped you from being able to use foreign credit cards and stuff like that. But I managed to get it. No, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Micah would be fantastic to have for that. But it makes me think like, okay, if they're gonna go do something like detailed ASMR stuff like that, they're gonna use it for popular characters. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna try to think of like the more popular characters that I actually like. So it's like, okay, we've covered Asagi. Well, I've covered Asagi. They're gonna have Kiara. It's part of a 3-part series, so the third one will be, I don't know, I guess like Yukikaze or Rinko. Rinko would be really cool for that. Yeah, that's what I use. I use Amazon Japan, and it worked. But it's like, it's annoying to say the least. I don't know if Shiranui, they've been pushing Shiranui as of late. At least in here. For like AT, she's getting a new costume next month, and I will get that. I will get that. Go here. Well, Foxy Grandma herself already has one of those drama CDs. That got released earlier this year. Yeah, it's I have to find it again because I've been looking inside the Lilith website to see like, all right, what's being renewed, because I missed the order stuff for like one of those the 2020 the 10 or 2012 Asagi that uses the White Almighty outfit. Because I've been looking at Mandarake to see what they have there, because that's also one of the places you can get you can use a foreign credit card and also buy all the drama CDs there as well. And one of the newest listings on the site was the Foxy Grandma one. Like, it's right there on like the 4th or 5th page. I think I actually still have it open. I can't show it here because she's got them boobers out. Oh, there's Aina. Heavily damaged. Like, have you guys ever seen some of the listings on this thing? It's great. Like, you can tell what characters sell and what don't, because like when I'm looking at the page right now for like you search up Taimanin and Mandarake, and you get these stuff like, okay, here's Sonya. She has both the CD and the cover for 160. Hebiko, this is adult Hebiko too. This is future Hebiko too. It's 160. Kiara released the one that released 2 years ago. That's $150. I would have thought like a Kiara one's usually just like poof out of existence because they're so popular. But like all of Asagi's stuff is sold. Like, it is almost impossible to find that. Oh yeah, Kurenai's is really, really cheap. That makes me feel kind of bad for her. Because I think it's like $110 for... No, it's 140. It's 140 to 160. Because she's got like... It's designed by Zoll. It's a really good picture too. And it's like, wow. It does not move. I guess people just don't care about Kurenai. There's Dancer Asagi. I cannot find this to save my life. It's probably got sold. I probably have to go back to the first page. This site loads like fucking shit. Let's see. Oh, cool. Wow. One of the first new arrivals is the hentai action action figure Asagi. That got sold out instantly. Oh wow, that's the arena battle one. I want that one. I want the other one though. Does Aoi Nagisa have a bunch of characters in AT? No way. It's almost like Aoi Nagisa is one of the most profitable artists in the series. Kusugami, unfortunately, has fallen off a little. He's a little sad boy now. So that means Aoi Nagisa is sweeping shit up in like both AT and RPGX. Like, my goodness. That motherfucker gets away with everything now. Logging for the number. Irashaimase. You get to rub Sora's forehead. She's freaking huge. The art books for this series also go like really quickly. Oh, this is one of Kurenai's newest ones where she gets the schoolgirl outfit, and it's totally slammed. Ah, man. I knew I should have bought that eBay listing from like years ago where they had the all 4 copies of all 4 parts of the Taimanin Asagi 1 anime. I'm like, man, that would have been nice. How popular is My Doll's character anyway? Well, she was not very popular in Taba because she didn't do very much to stand out there besides just being like a character that was popular for it. She was okay. What really got her popular was being in AT, and then she you get to see her. She gets to a nice voice scene. She looks really good. Like that actually really just jumped up her popularity. Where from being in this game, which was honestly quite crazy to think about. I can't find it right now. I know I saw it. I'm not going insane, am I? Ah, dang it. Wow, you can actually get the Taimanin Asagi 3 adaptation, the whole manga of like 100 and some pages, for $9. People like the nerdy superhero girl. It's not like Kagami does ceases to exist or something. It's just that Kagami is not as vocal as Aoi Nagisa. That's another thing too. Because many moons ago in a faraway place called Japan, there was, I think, a tsunami or an earthquake that happened in that time, and then one of Kagami's most prized possessions is this really specific Asagi figure, because obviously, Asagi is his baby. It is the thing that made Taimanin so profitable in the first place, and it got destroyed, and it destroyed a part of him as well. It's not like Kagami can't put out another banger and just make you go woo dad, because that still does it. He still got it. Here's a good artist spotlight section. One thing I like to compare about is the two most prolific artists from Taimanin series are obviously Kagami and Aoi Nagisa. One thing to look at is how their art has changed over time. We got that done. Let's clear out some APs with this. Emily, you go do it. When you go look at the original art for all the way back in I think it's 2006 for I forgot about these guys and how they're super loud. When you go look at the original art for Kagami, it almost you can see it's he's got a similar style to stuff of visual novels in that area. If you played Higurashi or it looks like Ryukishi's art, but it's much more refined. The coloring's better, the composition's better. Really the most, and then it's then you get up to Taimanin Asagi 3 where he finds his stride, and it's everything is sharp, everything looks really good, it's super clean, and it's all the characters are at their peak. Taimanin Asagi 3, Asagi is the peak of it. That's my favorite version of her, and that will not change. Because right now I have my wallpaper as you get a special wallpaper for the new ASMR you get from the L site, and it's it's a softer look. It's obviously supposed to be Asagi, pampering you and stuff like that, so Asagi has to look softer there. But it's a new outfit that she uses as the headmaster, and it makes her look more slutty, so I can deal with that. But it's a softer look. It's almost it's something you would see for Tokiko or something. Aoi Nagisa has obviously changed as well, because you go look at Taimanin Yukikaze 1. They look like they should be in where they're at in school. You'd expect them as background characters. They're not bigger than the main cast, but they're they look a certain way. Let's go. We got enough gold. We need this. Yeah. Then you go to Taimanin Yukikaze 2. Yukikaze's ass gets bigger, and Rinko gets to. They really go all in with Rinko being like a super slutty adult video star look. So they make her bigger in every aspect to where she looks like she's in her late 20s, but she's no more than 17. And from that point on, Oe Nagisa has gotten progressively bigger and bigger with like every character they make, barring like a couple like Sue and stuff like that. Because I remember there was a post like Oe Nagisa made about how like the ranking of characters in terms of like how big those tits they got are. And it's like, there's this one RPG exclusive character who has like enormous ones. It's like, it's not even like, it looks like something out of Last Origin to say the least. And it's like, they're starting to get almost obnoxiously big. Like, I'm not lying. It's starting to be like almost detracting with how it's like, they're almost more tits than person at this point. Because there's another really good one where it's like, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, where they have like this new summer art for Shiranui that came out, and they're bigger than like, they cover her stomach, and it's like they're wider than her shoulders. It almost looks like some, if you ever heard of the series like Aiken, is like A-I-K-E-N, Aiken or Aiken, that series, it looks like that. It's comical to say the least. It's like, it looks ridiculous. It's ridiculously funny to say the least. It's the yellow sling. It's that one. But it's it almost makes you think like the age-old adage is that Oe Nagisa is a woman, and it's like if Kagami ever tried this shit, they never allow it. They want the Kagami style. They want to keep it that way. But since Oe Nagisa is a lady, they're gonna let her do what she wants. You know, 10 years ago, I was still in high school, and I was keeping up with the development and release of Taimanin Asagi 3. That released, finally there was an English version right after I graduated high school. So it really amazes me, like, wow, time really does fly. A lot of them are women, to some degree. There are obviously ones that are men, they do their own thing. But honestly, it's like the ones that are women, they really, sometimes they get away with a lot more stuff than they really should. It's like, they'll just say, they ain't gonna say no to them. They're the one, their stuff brings in the money. And besides, who are you gonna say, are you gonna say no to the lady who makes the pretty lady who makes you money? No. I guess they call that celebrity status or something. I digress. Yeah, but it's like, if there's one thing I really, here's an aside with Blue Archive. Blue Archive is obviously a thing we use a lot here, is with the music and everything, because it's really, really good. Like, most gacha games don't have like the best soundtracks, but it's like, I like the upbeat and simplicity of Blue Archive. It's everything is light and airy. It's good. It just feels nice to listen to because you're gonna hear it a million times while playing it. And when I'm playing Blue Archive, which I've been doing that as of late too. It's like that takes a lot of time. It just sounds nice. They take pictures of themselves in poses just to reference. Oh yes, everybody's favorite raid boss, Gauze. I hate that dude. This is the first time I've ever like taken the game serious enough to remember to face him. I hate him a lot. Because it's like what? He has so many AoEs, and he has like the effect where it's like he has the clones and everything. So you just sit there and it's like, okay girls, get out of the AoE. Oh no, you just lost 50% of your health or you're just fucking dead. It's like, what the fuck do I do there? Like, I have stuff to drag them out of AoEs, but it's like I need to upgrade my Himari so I can get the cost speed up. And then one day I can get Kisaki, so I can have 40% cost speed up. That would be great. I mostly like Himari because when I was still learning stuff about the game, I found out her name is Himari and she sits in a wheelchair. And if you guys have ever heard of the show Hidamari Sketch, like there's no relation between the two besides me saying like, oh, Hidamari, Himari. I call it Himari Sketch. Oh, pixel time. Game development department, emergency. I mostly wait, like, I think I'm only like a few more rolls away from getting the pity for Bunny Toki. Because that's one of the characters I want. Because I already have Bunny Asuna. I don't have Bunny Karen. I want the Toki one. Even though Bunny Toki is not very good, I still like it because it's Toki. She's super cute. And also, since they were able to finally release Kisaki from not being from NPC hell, and actually she is a playable unit now, they can do it for Rio. They can actually get out Rio now, and they can just do it. They can finally get out everybody's favorite big sister, the master of surveillance and the head of seminar. The Seminar Seaman Demon, Rio, Tsukasuki Rio. Well, she's Sirocco Plus, and that doesn't mean, like, are we talking about Terror Sirocco, or just, like, Bicycle Sirocco? Regular Sirocco, from, like, the one you see in, like, Foreclosure? Regular Sirocco. I don't even have regular Sirocco anyways. What is it? Her EX skill, it's like it does like something like 1600 damage at max. It's like an 800 it's like no, at level 1 it's an 840 modifier. And then I think it removes a buff or stuns or something. It's something like that. Because she gets out the Thunder Fist and shoves it right up their ass. It's her doing 25 hits. What's the affinity for Bunny Toki again? It's like she does, it's blue attack and then like light armor, I think. Each 20 hits to break, so it's the exact amount. Kaiten Screw. Red attack, red defense. Oh no, Toki, you get fucked up by almost anything now. Baby girl, you shatter from looking at anything. That's why we need Track Yuka to solve that for us. Because I think that, what is it? Gaz is blue. This is a blue enemy. So it's like what you take like Wakamo, Eris, and like you have Himari in the back for the damage boost and skill stuff. You have like one healer that moves, and then it's like what's another blue attacker that everybody wants to have for when you have that stuff? And I know it's just like Wakamo and Aris. Aris, you have to stop doing that. You have to get out of the way and not have a 6-cost ult. Like I will never ever see her use that. No, I use Hasumi track for that. Because at least track Hasumi, it's like that shit kicks ass. Gauze is not fun. Can we have like... Can we bring back the other boss or something? Can we have the one from like 2 weeks ago? That guy was cool. You either heal one talisman or the other, and you can do either double damage or he has like he does no damage. It was something like that. Yeah, of course they would. And Gauze won't come back for like what? Another 2 months? Oh, Yuka Track comes back? That's great. It's like one of the best tanks in the game. It's better than the regular Yuka I have in the first place. You know, there's one thing that I actually like about Blue Archive is like I actually start liking some of the more like lesser spoken of characters. But it's like when I started playing the game, I was like, you know, oh, there's what is it? Oh, there's Rio, there was Toki, Asuna, Karen, all the girls of Problem Solver 68, the Prefect team, Foreclosures, like stuff like that. No, the one character I actually like the most is Haruka. Not like because of, oh, meta unit New Year Haruka. I'm talking about like base unit 1-star Haruka. I was like, wow, that is the shit. Like, baby girl has so much health, and it's like she uses she's not as cool as Hoshino, who uses a Benelli M10 Super 90. Which, by the way, you can actually buy those. The same model that Battle Hoshino uses, you can get the same exact model without the paint. Side saddle, grip, everything. Same capacity, too. Because I think, what is it? Haruka uses a Mossberg 500. Which is super cool. I love Haruka. She's so funny. She's so cute. She's the only one that's like, you know, I played the game, well, I got in the game years ago because I wanted to get Track Hasumi because she's got super fat tits. I liked that. And also Track Hasumi's a meta unit, and I didn't know that until later. I'm glad I got her though because she makes Gaz like super easy. Oh yeah, Haruka is just like, I think, what is it? She's managed to she blows up a building, blows up the garrison that they fight to get Hoshino back with, and it's like she injures several other people, and that's just in like the first 2 chapters of Foreclosure Task Force. Well, it's like the first 2 sections of Foreclosure Task Force. Haruka's super cool. I like her a lot. The only thing I don't like about using HP tanks like Hoshino and Haruka is that you have to heal them all the time, but they're fucking invincible regardless. I really, really don't like having to sit there like baby them all the time. But like, man, Haruka just sits there and just tanks hits every day. I really hope I can get her Mystic at some point so she just has like 145,000 health. Literally invincible. Which one is Tsubaki? That's the one that's she's like she deals piercing and has heavy armor, and she's the one with like the yellow colored shield. Because I have her and I use her specifically for my Pierce team. Fast Titi Tiger. Gar. Oh, her. Because I have what is it? Guide Tsubaki and original Tsubaki the tank. I like that I can actually equip both of them at the same time and never have any points to use my EX skills with. Because I think like what? Tsubaki's tank Tsubaki's EX costs 4, and then Guide Tsubaki's costs I think 5 or 6. So it's like impossible to use at any point. Like at that point I just use like Hina. Because I have like normal Hina, and like that's been really good for me, because it's like, because Hina's a backline member and you can actually just target from all the way in the back with her, like instead of like Nonomi. Nonomi has like that big cone, and but it doesn't hit all the way to the other side. It just misses it by barely. Hina's special because, you know, she's fucking Hina of all people, and she gets to target all the way across the field. It's like what's her face again? No, Aru can target from the back. Aru can target from downtown too. I don't have Aru, which makes me sad. It's like, I like her. In fact, I think most, like the entire Problem Solver 68 team, that's actually like, it's kind of solid. I'm not gonna lie. Because you have HP tank Haruka, you have 2 backline members with Mitsuki and Aru, and then you have the middle. I forget what her name is. It's like Yuyuka or something. That little what's her face? She's a support character. I think the only person I'm missing from Problem Solver 68 is just Aru. Because at that point, it's like, I think you would just run 2 direct healers and that's it, specifically for just keeping Haruka alive. Get that shit out of here. See, that's the thing. It's like, oh, you just need to collect shards from hard mode 17.3. Bruh, I'm over here like struggling to survive on 7.4. I am not gonna get there anytime soon. Because the 7 series missions is also when you start to go unlock regular Hoshino as well. I don't have that yet. And besides, I think like what? There's Beach Hoshino, and then there's Battle Hoshino is next month. I know that. No, she's in January. That's gonna be cool. I love Battle Hoshino. That's one of my favorite unit designs in the game. Because all it is, it's like it's hardcore Hoshino. She wears a plate carrier. She has the fully kitted out Benelli M1014. No, it's M10 Super 90, and she also uses a 92 FS. Absolutely ballin' stuff right there. And from what I remember, the pistol that she specifically uses there is like it was like the friend that she lost or something like that. So it's like, oh yeah, that's good stuff. There's only one other character in the game, like one other unit in the game that uses a Beretta, and they dual wield 2 of them too. And I don't have that character yet. Because if there's also one thing about Blue Archive I really enjoy, is that they are very, very detailed about their firearms. They really are. Like the Irus girls are, I don't know how you pronounce their school. It's like Aru Satellite School or something like that. Those girls all have like modified tactical weaponry. And Sayori's is probably one of my favorites because there's an amazingly detailed listing about what does Sayori carry. And she carries this automatic Sig Sauer that has a bunch of Magpul modifications and then a couple things as well. It's like the police automatic variant of like this one carbine. And I'm like, it's that detailed. I don't know why they wanted to make it that detailed, but it's like, there you go. That's what Sayori carries. Hang on, I need to find it. Like after we fight kind of low on this one, we'll go read Sayori's description. Because when I noticed like, oh wow, these girls all have like, these aren't like the fake version of a gun either. It's like the real stuff. Because there's 2 users of an MG42 in the game. It's one other like lower rarity unit, and then Hina. Hina uses like a modified like version that has like the particle accelerator inside it. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then like, what's her face uses a Car 98. And then Toki has like the G11 Jizz generator. And I think Shun uses an AS50. I forget who uses the PSG-1. I have the unit, but I don't remember who has it. Like if you can name one of those more popular guns, it's probably in this game. I gotta go Blue Archive tanks. No, we need to go to the wiki because we're super funny like that. Is it on the fandom page or is it that? I don't think it is. It's not Toki. It's what's her face? It's the one lady who's the leader of that school. That's it. Yori's our Car 98K user. Car 98. Oh, I cannot remember Sayori. That's it. Her favorite gifts are military foundation, camo foundation trio. No, it's on the other page. You gotta go to the fandom page is the one that has it. Because that's run by a person who is like absolutely fucking nuts. She's the only other person to shoot him. Where is it? Because I can't find it because it's like, no, it's not. It's if I wanted to do 5 runs, I'd go to 100, but it's very inconsistent with how I have things set up. Let's go to 80. Uses an AR platform. Ecclesiastes 12:8. Okay. My daughter. I showed Sayori's live 2D to my friends, and one of them just said, "My daughter," after she didn't bring me my 7th beer. Damn it. Damn it, Sayori. Where is it? There's Dress Sayori, but it's not there. Oh, that sucks. Because there was one that detailed like everything that's on Sayori's custom version of her Sig Sauer. I mean, for the most part, that's all you have to. This is all I have to do for VR, at least on Kanaloa, because next week is Ingrid, and Ingrid is where you have to sit there and then start sweating. You gotta play like a big old salty sweat lord. I simultaneously hate Ingrid, and it's like, I like what it brings in the first place. I like that it is actually challenging, and actually has to make you like think a little bit more about your composition. But it's also, this is the farmable content. It's pretty damn hard in the first place too. Like with Kanaloa, you can just like, you can solve it pretty easily. It's not a bad fight. The problem more or less lies within the fact that, guess what you have to have in order to make this like a doable fight in the first place? It's like 3 different kinds of limited gear, gacha only stuff. Oh yeah, you can summon if you have anything that has like it spawns it has a spawn on an extreme dodge. All you have to do is just sit there and go dodge into a fire pillar, and you can constantly keep making stuff. Because there's no timer. There is a timer, I think, on lava servants. So it's like you can just get the lava servants to do it for you. More or less, you're just gonna time out. Because even with my stuff, I'm still struggling to figure out how am I supposed to fight Ingrid correctly, or at least get higher than where I am now. Slap. There you go. Thank you, Kanaloa. Thanks for puking on everybody. Girl doesn't even know how to hold her own liquor at this point. She's making a fucking mess. Bro, we gotta send her ass home. We gotta send her ass home. We gotta get her a car. We just gotta get her out of here. Did you see that, everybody? Kerr and I out here with them crazy dodges. Very stylish. Man, even level 31 on like Ingrid is still very inconsistent. Because I think it's like when things start going really wrong when you fight Ingrid is when you have to start doing when Ingrid starts doing all of her long animations to summon more pillars. That's when it gets really, really time consuming and also dangerous. Because she'll quickly fill up the entire field with just those, and it becomes pretty unmanageable really fast. Because essentially the goal with Ingrid is to burst her down as hard as possible. Because man, if you don't give her the chance to summon more flame pillars, it takes less time and it also means it's less dangerous because apparently the AI just really doesn't know how to handle. No, they've actually gotten a bit better with it because in like recent months, after they started this, the enemies will when Ingrid goes into her untargetable state and summons the pillars, the enemies will back away. Not the enemy, but your allies will back away from it, which is actually really, really nice. But more or less, it's still on you to make sure that you control the pillars. A lack thereof was a pretty great way to make sure that you're never going to, that you're going to get swarmed by those flame pillars. God, Ingrid is either like is simultaneously very satisfying to complete, and also just like difficult to do in the first place. Like I don't want the boss to roll over completely and die like Kanaloa or anything like that. I would appreciate it if it's like, you know, just didn't feel as sometimes very cheap. Like I wish that Ingrid was targetable just like Spider Queen when she did her animation, because for one, it inherently makes it easier. Like that her doing the animation for like summoning spiders was a very long animation, and the Spider Queen was invincible during that. So Ingrid is now invincible when she summons the pillars, and it would be and since she does it multiple times and does it several times in a row on occasion, it would be a really great chance to do more damage. Ooh, good. We took no damage with that, and Kur and I once again showing off how great infrared and ultraviolet are. Sometimes it really just is a load of shit, and you have to take the things the way they are, and it sucks a lot. There's another thing about the VR bosses itself that people actually don't talk a lot about is learning how to position these bosses into a favorable situation. Because a problem people have with machines in the first place is how they are so erratic and they're so hard to control. When in reality, all you need to do is like you have to have one character that stays in the melee vicinity of machines, and they will be able to just sit there and reposition the enemies. Like that's what I would do with Astaroth. I have her automatically like fire and just like have them make the enemies forcibly do a 180 to run away from my teammates. Like effectively this plays like an MMO where it's like, okay, the tank now has to spin the boss around and away from the enemy so the effects don't come out there and just obliterate the entire team. That's what we have to do. So if you're having trouble on like certain things for these bosses, like right here, I couldn't change that because there's some stuff I just can't change because like when Lapis went into the same direction I was, we're both hitting Kanaloa from the front. So wherever we're going with that is what's going to happen. And then she took like that was 72,000 damage straight to the face. She took all that damage because we couldn't reposition the boss. That's what also makes Ingrid so very hard to fight, is because Ingrid is very erratic and you can't reposition her very well because she gets stuck in her animations and she'll be and it's pretty dire straits to say the least. usually the problem with like when you fight Ingrid is that the enemies themselves, like your AI, will just straight up run into like whatever attack is happening, because there are two targetable entities that appear every once in a while. There's Lena, there's Ingrid herself, there's Ingrid's fireball, which also happens the fact that it's like Ingrid will summon the fireball, and then you will be able to your allies will target it, and also your skills will too. So if you're ever wondering why your stuff gets disjointed for some reason, like you just managed to do that in the first place, like that fireball itself also gives hellfire as well. It's a very chaotic fight. You have to effectively immobilize Ingrid in every way, shape, or form. That one's finished. Where's Lapis? Where's Lapis at? I want to show her. I want to show that funny lady off. Nah, we already have Lapis equipped. We get Spinel's costume out because she's got wanted, dead or alive. I almost forgot about this because I was looking through outfits the other day to get ready. Alright. Got that in there. Make sure I pick that up. Alright, this week we need to get stuff ready for Azusa, so we can do it while I remind it. So I need 12, so I have that cleared. It takes 15 to 81, so I'll need some stuff for this. So let's make some blank coins. Okay. Well, I mean, the AI also likes to, when Ingrid does her big line drive attack, where she disappears and does like a bombing run, or she does like the big thrust attack that goes across the screen, the AI only doesn't know how to dodge that stuff. They will go from the front, and whatever is there in front of them, they're going to keep attacking. It doesn't matter whether or not they've got the big fuck me sign on the ground that says get out of there. You know how to get out of there. They don't. Which is absolutely ass. Alright, we need to make 15. 7 hours and 33 minutes. That'll be ready for it. How many of these do I have? 368. I can make 18. That's not exactly what I'm looking forward to. $2,000 of that. It really also goes to show just how much we actually enchant weapons, enchant more supporters than weapons itself. But I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom for a minute. Am I going? All right. Am I going to get Azusa on 87 at day 1? No. I don't feel for her as much as I do Foxy Grandma. Like 87 for 87 on day 1 for Foxy Grandma is like something I don't ever want to do for a while again, because it's really expensive to do, and it's also like hard to do in the first place. Let's see, 99 and 142. A little behind on that. I guess I'll have to get a package or something like that for it. Okay. We'll pick it up one way or another. That's right. How many do I have? 335. Okay, that means I used it previously. $46,000 fluid, but 16k bells. Well, it's pretty obvious what happens with those. I use the bells much more often because I'm enhancing supporters all the time. Because with weapons, you only need to do it like one time, and it's only for that character. If you have a small pool of characters you actually sit there and use, you only need probably about like a couple thousand. But with like enchanting supporters, there are so many supporters that all characters use that it's like they all get leveled up, and it takes so many bells to do it. Okay. Alright, I have 57. Does anybody remember what color Grandma was? As was it purple or green? Because I have 57 and 70. Because it's gonna take, I think, like 30 something to do it. She's gonna need there's 3 of that, that's 100 and something. Because I mean, when Grandma uses when you upgrade from 70 to 75, they use both of them for that, and then afterwards it's a specific color. It alternates on every character release, and I just can't remember right now. I know. I go to Francis. Green. Grandma was purple then. So it's green again. Yep. See, this is the costume I wish she had when she first came out, because this is the one that I wanted from RPGX. This is great. Look at that. To be the strap that goes around that one. Good lord. She doesn't have very much in terms of dye. Like, this is just her basic outfit in the first place, and all it is like she got a tan and got like streaks in her hair. I just really like the accessories for this because it's so much fun. You actually get to now learn where the handcuffs come from, and why she uses the guns in the first place. And she's so pale in this one. It's like, it's a very good craftable costume, but it's also like, you need to save it for that. Grammary, can we please have a change of hair and hairstyles? Because Francis has a lot of cool costumes. They every time they have like the fun Genki style of character, they always like really go all out for them. Well, they make Francis's costumes look really good, but they also then manage to make her play like shit. I like the belt. I like what she's got going on here. But this is the system seller right here. Is it worth it to spend Francis's skill points on some stats? I don't invest very heavily on Francis. Onion, you have to think about it like this. I may have 50,000 skill points and also millions of dollars in the bank, but it's like I don't do that for characters I don't play very often, or characters I don't like. I like Francis, but it's also like, let's use the money for something else, because I'm most likely going to use my money to enchant supporters and give status upgrades to like Ingrid, Asagi, Foxy Grandma, Astaroth, Phantasma, Shizuru, Lapis, Spinel. Psyche gets some too. Nagi when we're on humans. All kinds of stuff. Kurenai does it too. Kurenai will now get them as well because she's managed to actually wow me enough to put her in the rotation. Emily also gets them too because she's Emily and I use her all the time. It makes me wonder, what if there was a function in the game that could tell you just how many times you've used a character, like, over time? I wonder if I know they have the stats to measure that, to like how many times have you used this character over the course of your account's lifetime. That would honestly be really cool to see. Because I can imagine like my most used character is most likely Emily. Not because like it's like I think Emily's great. I just like Emily because she can automatically do things for me. In terms of like a most used in a physical sense, it would probably be Astaroth. Because like ever since I got Astaroth, I've always found some way to like use her in some capacity. It's like VR, she's the main lady in VR. She was my number 2 farmer for the longest time. Because if I wanted to farm events really quickly, I just get red Astaroth, equip like 1 green slot, and then just have her go to town. Like I wasn't worried about her. Asagi still gets used a lot as well because we use her very often for humans and for other hard content as well. Because she's also my strongest character, like flat out. Who do you guys think would be your most used character then? If it's Emily, who's your second most used character? Okay, let's go back to crafting. That's right, I need to make these. Max 186 hours. It would take a whole week just to do it. I once did the math to see how long it would take to make 999 gifts at once. And it would take, if you had even with the, without the bonus, like going into first slot, the cooldown reduction and everything, it would take you over almost a month and a half of just straight up waiting. And if you had it at, if you have it the supporter equipped at the halves at the time, it would take you 3.5 weeks to wait. Because it's like, my goodness. And you know, in that amount of time too, you can farm up 999 gifts way easier with the gold gacha, and it's faster too. Look at you, the actual Sakura Chads in the chat. Oh my goodness, he believes in our favorite dumb blonde. Godspeed you, Black Emperor. You really know how to do it to him. Make those because I need more resources for it. Mastery Crest. I have 31 of those. It's fine. I use Crystal Package for that. Because this is traditionally what I do before we go get a new character, is I start doing an inventory of resources to get ready. Because I like to have them all ready by the time, so like I come home from work and then I can go start leveling the character as quickly as possible. Because actually, let's check out how many resource plans do I have. Because typically when I'm farming the character, I try to get all of their I get them to 81, and then I get them all the way up to level 25 in all skills, because that's what the majority of their time is going to be spent with. Okay, we have 4,313. That means I'm going to be at a deficit from Foxy Grandma, because I think I took like 800 to use her to level up all of her stuff. So that'll put me down to about, probably, we're not going to 87, so that would at least put me down to 3,500. So I've got to cut back a little bit on it. I could certainly use less. Since Azusa Zeus, since Azusa shares with Rinko, all of my stuff is ready for the most part. Like, I'll probably have to do some enchantments with Yumi Midori, because Azusa's weapons, like, then we also have to check what her Gacha signature weapon is going to look like, because all the stuff that is in the past for for Rinko is like, one weapon is only Rinko exclusive. Like, I know this says all, but it's most likely going to change to specifically to Rinko only when Azusa releases. Because who's a good example of that? Someone shares weapons. Yeah, this one. It's like, where is that one? No, she's already got it equipped. But either way, she's ready to go for the most part. I wonder if Kieran, though, will be able to just be an all weapon. Though, since it's Rinko's Gacha exclusive, I don't think that's going to happen. Because then they make space for having for Azusa to have one as well. Because Kieran, this is a very old weapon, and it's like, normal attacks have a 5% chance to deal 240 damage and makes the target groggy. And then its active is nothing to write home about. This weapon was a quote-unquote the meta thing for Rinko until Shosu came out. Even then, it's like, you're doing the normal attack string, so you're already limited to that. It's very slow, prone to being interrupted, and it's a 5% chance. So it's effectively the best chance you're going to get to having this attack proc would be on the final hit of the skill. And it takes her forever and a day to do it. So this is going to be a really, really nice stat stick. Would the summer weapon be at least good? You only have that and Kieran, you don't want to spend gacha coins on weapons pulls. For most people, what's going to happen when Azusa releases, because we've gotten a lot of tickets for for the summer weapons, and Rinko obviously has this. It's a low stat weapon that I think only like an arena weapon will beat it, but it comes with the particle charge benefit, so it's actually quite worth it for like a lot of players. Like, this is worth having just to, like, either you put it in the main slot if you're trying to go for like a more ult heavy type of thing if you're farming stages. Like, I will most likely use one of the 12 summer tickets they keep giving out for us and get this to max so I can have a particle charge one ready to accelerate farming. Because that's also what I do is when a new character comes out, I typically use like the ultimate builds, like stuff like that increases ultimate speed and stuff like that, because just being able to nuke the wave and doing it over and over again is just really, it's really fast. Like if you ever really want to level up characters really quickly, you use sweep tickets or ultimate builds, because you just want to clear the wave as fast as possible or just complete it without playing it. And I don't like to use too many of the operation tickets because it puts me into a deficit that it's hard to recover from. So that's at least how I do it. Because, wow, this is weird to me, because all the other Momochi weapons have like very unclean textures, and the effects are like distorted because they leave a lot of artifacts. Yomigumo over here apparently has like a very clean sheath and like a nice looking blades and everything like that. It looks solid for the most part. I imagine that's probably due to their compression algorithm. Like this is going to be just fine for like most situations, is good old Yomigumo. But then my question is going to be like, alright, you know, if she's got the speed to just clear VR, just clear low level stages just like Ringo can do, because Ringo can obviously do that just as easily with Shosu since she's all about AoEs. It makes me wonder what they're going to do with Azusa, because this is a character who we have, unless you've been playing RPGX and have kept up with her with both the original and the future version, people in AT do not know who this character is. In fact, this is how it's been for like the last several releases. We have had no mention of Francis, Phantasma, Foxy Grandma, or no mention of Azusa either. There's no like story things about them, because they only get introduced at the moment we see them in the story is like never. They only get like a little event thing, and that's about it. Swordfish. Who uses the swordfish? Oh, it's Shiranui. I forgot that Kurenai has that one. Let's see. We'll get 4 copies of this. Do it while we're still here. Like, it certainly pays to save these summer vacation tickets, because they don't rerun them again. Like every summer we just get like 3 or 4 of those, and it certainly is very worthwhile to have them in case of something like this, because the more characters share weapons, the more value those tickets hold. Because like at that point you'll just be able to have like a weapon for enough weapons to share with everybody. I can find Ime Midori. Let's 5-5 this. Yeah. I mean, well, they tried being experimental with a Taimagogo. That obviously didn't turn out very well. Sometimes I also think about how they have the only engagement that they use with informing people of new items is they obviously use emails. They send out newsletters and stuff like that. But it's like, I really miss the Taimanin TV channel. Yeah, the Taimanin TV, because that was like the best way for you to find out stuff in RPGX, new merchandise that was going on sale, things about for AT as well. They would send in codes, and they would also tell about things that were happening in there, new costumes and stuff like that. And Kaiten Screw, we're farming now. What does it do? Swordfish. No, it's a mackerel. Because you would think Riku would get the swordfish. Because RPGX, I wonder how, like, RPGX obviously was designed to be the successor to Taba, so they knew they made it a moneymaker in the first place. Alright. that's ready for her when it comes out. That'll be good for busting down stages. Yeah, Taimagogo died earlier this year. It wasn't a surprise to anybody because it was just handled in such an awful fashion. There was no reason for them to like. But the English version of RPGX, that is such an awful situation. They didn't need to make it that way. They didn't need it to become terrible, but they sure did it. Oh, let's go here. Let's go to weapons. I'm gonna level up Spinel's weapon. Okay, that's ready. I want to show off Spinel, one more thing. Wanted, wanted, bread or alive. Wow. Her arms look so thin. Is that in every one of her outfits? No way. Oh, wait a second. Do they really do that on purpose? They do. Oh my god. Look at that. Her arm is like noodle arms right here. I just realized that. They cover up her arms as much as possible to miss the fact that she got dumpy action down here, but her arms are like, they needed probably about like 15%, like 15% to the right, guys. Come on. And they always cover her arms. Holy shit. Because I was like, they look so thin. It looks like almost like they use like Yukikaze's arms and put them on there. And it's like, there we go. I like that. I love the duster. The hat stays on. You don't get to ride a horse. We got the law. We got a car that says law on it. She's Lee Van Cleef from the Dollars series. Go man aside, partner. I wonder what the Japanese reaction to RPGX Global being shut down. They probably didn't care that much because the original's still around. Oh, that's right. Spinel's a suppressed character. So we'll upgrade this to 5. That way we have enough to go to 10 because I need to make some new ones in the first place. I'm more or less, it's like, what does the corporate side think of like RPGX English shutting down? Because it's like, okay, well, we tried going into English. The only thing that we have successful over there is Action Taimanin, so we're just going to keep doing that and really now laying into it. Really chasing that dollar. Okay, here's a collaboration character. Pay up, bitch. There, +9. That's livable. Let's go to special activity. Craft some crap. How many do we have? 859. That's good. 30. We need blue, so we need demonic arm detonate stuff. Should massacre Kurenai. Fortitude boost, we don't need that. There we go, white. We're not going to be doing amazing damage, but you get to show those off in the first place. Slow immunity. Who do I have at 87 anyways? I think it's only like 4 characters. I think it's Shizuru, Asagi, Inage, and I think one other character. Ingrid. I only have those 4. I have seen the overworked salaryman video about that. Because it's about what I expected in terms of like its incompetency at the top and chasing the dollar, which is why we have the gem debt and all that other stuff with it too. And it just made it so that it was a quick decline straight to the bottom. Unfortunate to say the least, but it's the way of the road, Rick. Terrible to say the least. They killed all the whales, man. They did that. They were whale hunting that day. Spinner de Aru. Buster Wolf! Are you okay? Are you okay? Buster Wolf! That's why I like using Spinel, because you could just be Terry Bogard and just Gauru Marka the Wolves, that bitch. But Buster Wolf. Oh yeah. Well, one of the things that I remember specifically with RPGX is the additions over time that they had made for optimizations in JP were given to the English servers, but only as a pass feature. I think there were ways where you didn't have to pay actual money for the pass features, but features that were traditionally used to like make life a whole hell of a lot easier in the original game were suddenly now not in there because you're just not allowed to have that. They effectively told you to get fucked on that one. Oh, this is from Machines Dokiko. Wow, I thought she died. Unless you paid $1. Are you serious? You had to sit there and pay $1, just like, okay, here you go, for the price of a Coke. You can go over there, it's like, okay, auto farm. The game's already much of an auto battler in the first place, and then you don't even get the chance to like, you have to pay $1 for the most elementary of features. Are you serious? No wonder nobody wanted to play that piece of shit. As soon as they saw like, alright, you can't do shit in there, we'll just go play the fucking JP version again. We're already having to use proxies in the first place. Call this shit Zenless Zone 0, baby. Here's a proxy, here's a exploration quest for you. Find the fucker who did that shit and hang him from a tree. Game development department, save us. I love that maximum penetration attack Kurenai has. That's so good. I love infrared and ultraviolet. That's such a that's my thing. That is my thing for it. Makes me happy to see it's like they took care of Kurenai this year. She fucking ate. Baby girl ate. There's a certain level of engagement I want in a game. I don't exactly mind sweep tickets. They're important to keep you from getting player burnout as well. But then you also have shit like, you know, okay, what am I supposed to do about that? It's like, I need to make sure I don't burn out my players, so we have things that let them skip menial content. And then we also have stuff like, well, when you have skip tickets in a game that's pretty much an auto battler, because I always go back to Princess Connect, that game is like, you have like no agency at all. And the Azur lane is like worse with that too. Like you need to I need to do something, but it needs to feel meaningful. If it doesn't feel meaningful, I just don't want to do it. Where's Kajinker? Let's get out Dawnbringer. Jinka. 30-day wait is such a strange decision. I actually like playing the game on Blue Archive side of stuff. It's actually quite engaging. Because the last thing you want to do is make yourself become a jaded player. Because when you stop having, it's like a really great way to make sure you don't like the game that you put so much time into, is to not actually play it and talk about only things you have negative for it. If you refuse to engage the game and on a conceptual level, it doesn't let you, and it's like, if you're not enjoying the game on its base level, you're not, and then you're going to look for problems somewhere else, and you make up problems in your head, and you get these amazing schizo posts about like things that don't exist in the game and like mechanics that like apparently supposedly don't work, but in practice when you're doing it, it doesn't matter because it's such a non-issue. That's typically something I see a lot of when I like read posts about like this Limbus Company, Blue Archive, Azur Lane, Zenless Zone Zero. It's people making shit up. It's like, where do you fucking get off with that, man? Like, damn, man, play the game. Or at least if you're not enjoying it at that point, go do something else. All it is just having that sort of mentality is like it's a great way to make sure that you don't actually like. You may probably not actually like playing games in the first place. You probably like arguing about games, which is typically something I see a lot of. Because one of my favorite things to do is I love going to the AT General on 4chan. That is one of my favorite things to do because it's like the best way to see what people thought of a situation. Because it's like, yeah, we get like professional schizo posters and the NTR fanatics that talk over there. But every once in a while, I'll see people like who are in the AT General, and they talk to each other, and they can be very, very critical of the game, and I like to hear about that. Because I get to hear about like, all right, what did you guys exactly think of Francis's release? Okay, Francis was fucking awful. That bitch doesn't know how to do anything right. She hits like a wet noodle. Because I know like a good portion of the Discord group actually is there in that general. They check it a lot. So I know some of them are there, and it's like amazing. It's like, thanks guys. It's like, I remember, yes, it's a Channel 4. It's the English offshoot of 2chan. No, the Taimanin in general and H is different because that's the one where you get to post porn and everything like that. It's all Taimanin in general on the VG board. Like you just go over there to like click on VG, go over there, type in the catalog, just /ATG. It actually uses the same acronym as Action Taimanin in general, but it was supposed to consolidate RPG Ecstasy and AT Go, all that other stuff, and keep that discussion out of the H general. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. V has HEG. That's the one that's more worthwhile to look at also because it updates faster than the one on H. Because the only time you'll ever see that thread move is like when people are complaining about a scene, a new scene is dropped, or a translation releases. I can only imagine the quote-unquote shitstorm that happened when we finally got English Kurenai, Taimanin Kurenai. Yes, Zeus, we talked about that earlier. It's like they had it was revealed to be Kiara, and I am not getting that. But yes, we have Kiara here, but that's the extent I want to keep her. Let's keep her at a distance and not in my ears. We do have Asiago though. Cool lady. Do we have arena stuff we can do? Let's see if we can get to what is it? To 7,000 in arena. I want to see what that exactly is going to take. I wish I could have specifically arena setups and not just like having to switch them every 5 minutes. Take that off of her. Perfect. Oh, Shisui's got 50,000 again. We'll put that on her. Thanks, Shisui. Fumamane, I really hope that there is a machine character, because it's like, yeah, there's only 4 machine characters in Action Taimanin. There's a couple of characters I really wish that were like machines in the first place. Like Aina and Micah, they would have been just fine as machines. I wouldn't have minded that at all. In fact, I was kind of expecting Aina to be a machine character, because like what, she's calling on robots, she's doing all the kinds of stuff like that. She's got like a cybernetic implants. Well, I mean, she doesn't have implants. She's got implants somewhere else though, because baby girl's all natural. Where's my meme team composition for arena? There we go. Worshipper Lapis. We'll keep that one on there. We don't need damage. We just need there we go. Using a skill. Oh no, we need where is she? We need Fumamane because we were just talking about her earlier, and it knocks back enemies. Awesome. Alright, let's go in the arena, see if we can get 7,000 with this. Well, Azusa could be a machine character, but the only time that we would ever see her be a machine one is with her future version. And we're getting the regular version right now. To jump to the future version is like, that's putting a cart before the horse situation, and I can totally understand why. Because her original form, it's like, that's human. That's something we didn't need to worry about at all. How does she end up as a cyborg anyways? It's probably like a similar situation to like whoever. Oh, she's at max already. Okay, I'll put that in there. How she ends up as a cyborg, I don't know exactly. You'll need to talk to someone who's even more experienced in RPGX and keeps up with it, because that is something I don't do. That's why they need to release Mirabelle. I'm sure they've heard at this point that everybody wants Mirabelle to get in the game. Like, by God, she just got a new unit in RPGX. So it's like, you know, it's time. I think this last version of her was, she grows a dong and then gets like, and then just starts banging or something, you know, typical stuff. Yeah. Just becomes a milk server. What, she just turns like a hoo cow situation, and they have Azusa just become like, alright, there you go. It's like, now you put those big old tits to use. It took all that just to get her to past one stage. And now Shizuru's gonna like incapacitate us forever and a day. Cause I still have all my gear for like Machine Emily equipped. Mirabelle's either gonna come with a task force clone story, or like people cry so much about it, they turn her into an emergency button to press. I kind of doubt that. I wouldn't say she's like an emergency button, because if they really wanted an emergency button, they'd release more like, they go for like the Winagisa characters because they always bring the most money, and they just release like more limited like limited characters for that, like limited Asagi, limited Rinko, Yukikaze, typically characters who bring in a lot of money in the first place. They do that, and for the most part, Mirabelle is a niche character. It's like there's like, she won't bring in that much in the first place. She's a fan favorite, but not a money maker. Yeah, Action Time, like Gremory Games is a Korean company. It's a contractor. It's a subsidiary of the Lilith company. Like their sole, like their parent company for that, like that they have is Innerbrain, which owns Gremory, and it owns like another part of it owns some other stuff as well. So with that, they managed to go like, okay, that's what you do for it. It's kind of shitty to say the least. Oh, we lost. right before it would have activated again. I need to take off some of her skills, because what you're supposed to use it for is... We can keep that on there because it doesn't activate. Okay, let's rematch that. It's better. Yeah, Lapis is effectively to get you to stop suffering in VR. Lapis is like 100% the answer in every capacity to so many situations. Like, man, there's like no way around it. Because she finally gives team healing, which is like one of the most important features that this game has been lacking like forever. Because before that, it was always like this ham-fisted way of like using Felicia and stuff. Now Felicia is relegated to being a debuff extension bot, which is sad because I like Felicia. I know I like AT's OCs as well. Like people do like Emily. She's a very well-designed character. Her weapon is not the best, like in terms of like for what a character should look like. But it's like then you have like, let's see, Sue is a very good design as well. I like her. Sora is really cool. Another character I like. Spinel, she needs a little bit of a tweak because it's like she looks like she would have very high appeal, but then it's like she just feels she's just missing that little bit that sends her over the edge. Maybe that's just me though. Croesus managed to actually have some hope for once when they released the costume again for her. When they released a costume for her on Halloween, that was honestly really great. I was so happy that Sora actually got something for once because it's such a cool costume for her. And the thing is, Sora was like VR ready. Now Felicia was like always had a tough time in VR because like you needed to do so much for her to make her worthwhile. While Sora, on the other hand, she was ready for it from day one and is consistently one of like the best characters for it because she stays away from enemies, she can heal herself, and she is a very important team player. It's like really great character. It just really sucks that she's held back by, one, she's an OC that people didn't care about, and it's like, oh, such a cool, it's just so useful. It's such a helpful character. Noah's very cute. I forget about her sometimes because I don't use her a lot. But when I do get reminded about her, I remember like she's very cute. She's a funny little gal too. She's cute and funny. See, there you go. It's like, but bam. 2-for-1 special. So at least now we know when they make a character that they start really pushing them hard, like in 1 year. That means they're probably going to get something pretty important later on. So this whole last year, they've been rerunning Kurenai's equipment. They've been rerunning her limited packages and sets. All of this to build up for her to finally go get a renewal. A renewal that changes the face of the game for her in the first place. Which is honestly so nice. Lena is the most forgotten. I don't forget about Lena because she has she's the best feeling character in the entire game. There's only characters that compete with that in the first place, and that's just Green Asagi feels really good. Ina's a character that feels really good to play as well. Yeah. Did Asuka get a renewal yet? Yes, she did. And it was actually really good for her. It changed a lot about her that, in terms of mechanics, it made her a much better character to play. It actually made bomb escape an actual escape that doesn't totally suck. And it's her moves hit harder, she's faster in general. Very, very good in that aspect. However, most people when they talk about Asuka's renewal, is that she has they changed her face, and they changed how her parts of her body look, and that's a deal breaker for some people, because before she had that, she was the type of character who's like, she's like the smug look, the girl next door type of thing. But it's like now, as time has went on, they lean into the more girl next door type of look and less smug about it. Well, she's even more smug than before. She's got a smaller face and looks like she's got chubby cheeks with it. Her eyes got smaller too. Saika is one of the Fuma family, so she explicitly will not be forgotten for the most part. She'll always get some sort of support, whether that's in RPGX or in something else. So even if she's like missed out here in AT, she'll get something in the future. There's no doubt about it. Grammary probably needs to also go back and renew some of their other renewals, because they're pretty inconsistent on regards to like, is a character going to get a passive? Is this renewal actually going to fuck something up for them and make it harder to do? Or is it going to like be such a massive game changer that it shakes up the character completely? Like Kurenai has had a renewal in the past where they gave her a slight change to, they did most of her skill tweaks back then, and so that's why when she finally got her big update 2 months ago, well, last month, it was a very small series of changes that were just to make her feel better to use, which was awesome. And then they give her a weapon that also changes so much for her in the first place. That's the same thing with Ingrid. No, not Ingrid. That's the same thing what they did with Kiara. Kiara got a massive amount of changes a few years ago, and because of that, when she finally got her renewal, it was very unsubstantial mechanically. They literally changed about 3 things, and that's it. She still plays like garbage, but she's a little less garbage. I like this. This is good. This is good. That's a good color. I wanted to go for a flesh tone, but this guy goes for like Christmas flavor. That's good stuff. Shiranui also got a renewal. It was very unsubstantial as well. It didn't give her a passive or anything like that. See, the thing is, they can remove skills from characters and change them completely. Ingrid is like the best example of that, because it's like they gave her she has had 2 different renewals in the game itself. So that means it's like, okay, and they have they removed 1 skill and they added another for her. So they are totally within the capacity to remove skills and change them to something else. I'm very happy they have learned to not put launchers in the game, because they are fucking awful. I know I've gone over this many times about how pointless launchers are, because it's like that's not how the game is. We can't jump. We don't have any air control. And the activation prompt for launchers is an attack hold. So you can easily mess that up and use it when you don't want to. And when they have the prompt itself to actually go sit there and throw down the helm splitter portion of the attack, you have to have a supporter equipped with it in the first place in order to get that benefit. That's something that should have been innately on there in the first place, but they didn't do it. That's something that they did with like Asagi as well. Asagi still has her launcher skill, and it's consistently one of her worst skills to use. It always has been, and it always will be. Until the day we can actually get up and jump and have air control, because like we don't have Sky Star, we don't have like air hike, we can't do anything like that. So these launchers into aerial raves are pointless, which is what I'm so happy about, that they finally stopped doing that shit. Will Shirinui's new weapon from the package actually change how she plays? No, it won't. Because Shiranui has a set of problems inside her that are just like inherently going to be with her. Her string is godforsakenly slow. Which is typically when you play Shiranui, you just wait for your skills to come off a cooldown, and that's it. Anything short of that, it's like you need enemies to be distracted, their armor broken, or just like anything else really. It's a crapshoot, to say the least. Alright, we need to take a loss. Oboro's 3 green skill changed, and it's like, I honestly don't like the change itself. I liked it when it was a projectile that, it was a piercing projectile, it still is, but it's like, I liked it when you could just be able to just sit there and like, use it from across the map. It's spread so you could hit enemies, and you could apply slow and turtle from there. The change that was made to that skill puts Oboro in like a more of an assault fashion, which is what she should have been doing in the first place. But now she's just a professional debuffer with when she uses Skull Face, gets puts her immobilization debuff on there and just like goes to town. No, her Shiranui's like Taimanin art that's worth taking. Like for most instances, like you can take that and be fine, because for the most part people usually like to run like Yugen Goku. The Yugen Goku is the one where it's like, I forget, it's the one, it's the triple green explosion. That's what people like to run a lot because it's a massive AoE and you can be from a distance, because the first hit of Shiranui's basic attack string takes 1.1 seconds. That is legitimately terrible, and you're bound to get interrupted by a fucking sneeze at that point. It's typically what turns me off from using her in a lot of situations, that I'm not controlling her. Yeah, people like running Rondo and Shiranui because it's really fast, it has a low cooldown, does a lot of damage, and heals. The crystallized meme strategy is just so much fun. It's nice and easy. Oh, if you guys haven't heard of yet, the guy who ran the last Astaroth art contest is running another one again. So if you're a really artistic guy in any capacity, you can make new art for Astaroth in a winter costume, in a winter setting, using her default costume only, no AI. If you do that, you can have a chance to win a grand prize of 275 British pounds. So for us Americans out there, that translates to about $310. Well, I think it's more or less like $300, but it's still, that's good money. If you think you got a chance and you think you got to make good art, you can go ahead and do it. And yes, Noah is the arena killer, because everybody uses her for 3 green. You get Edgar's Enigma, and every time you use a character and you use her new bear, when she got a renewal, she gets a really, really great weapon because it makes her faster. You get Chuck Liddell's toy because it makes you go faster. Every time you use a character, every time you use a skill, at max the 64% chance to summon a familiar for 8 seconds. And every time she has a familiar, she gets a 10% damage increase. This gets out of hand really fast because Edgar's Enigma, when you have the set, it summons 2. And every time and then when you use Edgar, you can get another familiar. Then every time you have like her finisher, that counts as a skill, so it rolls a chance to get that. That's another one. And then Marauding Mandy is like, well, you just sit there and do that, and you have Carolyn's Malice to get out of it. So if you can skill spam with Noah and just gun anything down. Is Takeover worth taking as your second skill for Blue Psycha? I need to look at that again. Officer down. Takeover is her field-wide disarm passive, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is. Because it's a 4 for 11. It's like a 4-second duration with an 11-second cooldown, and I think blue is the one that increases the duration, isn't it? At that point, it's like, it's weird to say the least. Typically, when I want to play Psycha, I play her in green because it's like her most damaging aspect. It also gives her best healing. And Miss Hot Robot. Iron Man, woo! Yeah, Takeover is that. Oh, it's 18, so that's 4 for 12. I want to say 12. Oh, that's 3% particles. Yeah, so it's a particle generator. So it's like, I think it's what, 3% particles on every enemy affected or something. It's not something you exactly want to use on that because all of its incentive pieces are in green and red. So you either hit harder or hit faster. This is just like for particle generation and turtling. Because Hurricane Kick is explicitly for like, alright, it's criticals, it doesn't suck up people, and it's an AoE attack. Though Quake Stomp is the better AoE. Which one's your charge? Well, you can use Heat Kick as a charge skill. That's great in general. Shadowless is the 150 booster, but that takes forever to do. Because typically when you want to use blue Psycha, you always put it's 1 in the main, and then 2 of whatever color in the background. Because you can actually, it's main blue, so you would use New Year Felicia, and then you would have 2 green or 2 blue in the background, so you can either get the damage boost or speed. Because at that point you could also just take Moonsault, 1 blue 2 green, which is typically what I use for Psycha, because it gives her longevity and does a lot of damage. But it's the long time when we're waiting with Takeover, it's not the best of decisions. We've heard that. We've heard. Let's see. Does she have any other charge attacks? Because I think no, she has no other charge attacks because Heat Kick is the only one that's for charges like that. Quake Stomp has more of more likely to actually just sit there and activate when you don't need it. Because it's better for farming. And with Heat Kick, nothing really changes about the skill whenever you just do anything. You just use that kablam. Yeah, Spinning Kick is one of her best skills since it's only main dependent. And it's one of her 2 healing skills. And since it's based off of damage dealt, you can just stack anything you want, and it will just be better for her in the long run. You just take Spinning Kick over a lot of stuff. He's what's your other option? Gale Kick? Oh man, ooh doggy. That's your arena buddy right there. That's your filler for your combos. How often do they have FAP dailies? Well, they have daily missions on a rotation. It's like, let's see, today is Saturday. Today is Saturday, so that means all 4 dailies are on half off right now. And then it starts back again on Sunday with oh, quarter AP? That's very rare. That's usually something they save for like anniversary, summer, and Christmas. Because quarter AP is like insane. Because half AP, that runs like, it's got a rotation every week. Because it's like, it's human, it's let's see, it's human. It's the humans. Sunday. Monday is sewer demons. Tuesday is machines. Wednesday is gold daily. And then Thursday is human and sewer demons. Friday is machines and gold. And Saturday is all 4. Yep. See, the thing is, I'm not exactly quite sure because it's like, it's quarter AP is so rare, but it's like, that's the only time I could think of when they would put that kind of stuff in there to be like usable. It's the only one that makes sense to me. Other than that, though, it's like, I'm not quite sure. I'm just guessing. Nippos. Yum. Come on, Lapis, use the skill. Stop getting comboed in the air. Gravity hold on. What do I spend my rotation coins on? Do I usually spend them on supporters? I don't think I've used a single rotation coin ever. No, I did because I needed to get a weapon one time for Kiara so I could have something ready for Eleanor. That's the only time I could ever think of using them in the first place. Let's see how many I have in the first place anyways. Can you not scroll? What's going on here? You see, that's how often I use it. I don't even know where it's at. Because it's like, the system for this is you, I have 222 coins. Nice. Because how this works is like, you know, you have to wait or you unlock it for 500 gems, which is, it's poopy. Let's see, I don't have to worry about anything about that. Yeah. Either just break glass for desire if I really need to, if I'm at a deficit and I need to get them or something. Because at that point it's like, all I ever use is like whatever's up right now. Do we have 30? No, we don't. We spent that on wanted. Spinel. That's all I ever need them for, is like if something happens and I need them to, if I need to get something specifically for a character that I just don't have a lot of, like if I didn't have anything, if I didn't get infrared and ultraviolet for Kurenai, I'd just use it for that. But now that I do, I don't need to worry about it. It's just not a problem anymore. I can see the benefit of the rotation gacha. I just really wish it didn't cost so damn much to Open the banner you want. Because it'll take you like over a week just to get to where you need to be. Let's look at that again. Let's see. Oh, this is, well, there you go, guys. If you need Rinko items, today's the day for it. You got right now, it's like 9 hours left. Get over there to pick up stuff for Rinko if you need it, because it's not going to be ready by the time you get to next week. So you can get Skullface from it. This is actually a really good place to get stuff for characters, especially with like over here. You can get Formosan Edge. They did. That was during for anniversary. Like for the first half of the month is what you could do. Oh yeah, I love this picture because it's like we got Rin over here, she's huge. We got Micah's huge over here, and then we got Sora trapped in the middle. Girl does not even know what to do. Okay, I was like, how much does it cost? It's 100 gems to do it. That's a quarter of a roll, everybody. Is it in there for her already? Yeah, Ultraviolet's in there. That's not very good rates either. 0.33 as compared to some people who are like 0.48 out of it. That's rough. It just goes to show it's like the more characters we have, the more bloated these pools are going to get. Even the rotation gacha now needs a rotation gacha. The rotation needs a rotation. I like what they did for Kurenai's renewal. They made her actually happy for once. How much AP do we have left anyways? Oh, we got 8. We can still keep going. Okay. I don't know why they keep going back to longing for the memorable days. Like, I put this on random. Excuse me, I put this on random? Being a motherfucking BK random, to say the least. God damn. See, that's the one thing I like about Kurenai's aerial rave attack. It doesn't work like a traditional one in the first place. It launches her up because of the wind, but then it also has the she automatically comes back down. I don't know why they can't just have that. Uh-oh, she's got the funny weapon on there. That's so nice. Also, there's something that they did in the last update that I don't think I've seen anybody talk about as of late. So in the last update, I think it's like they changed the timing for extreme dodge. No, it's it's the skill procs at the very end and also instant dodges. I think they changed those to have no, it wasn't that. It was during a different time. Was it before that? It's weird. Because I was reading about this, like, where did that come from? The new low-priced Black Friday package. Can you believe it? It's a Friday once again. Wanted, there we go. Improvements and bug fixes. Fix the typographical error in Carolyn's Malice in Spanish. Malice in Spanish. Kichi Azusa icon. It's weird. It's like that was. No, the Black Friday pack is worth it, because for the all 4 parts of that are the same amount of cost as 1 month of Hebishika, and you get much better benefit out of it. Like it's a good package. Weird. Massacre Kurenai. You traded 1 for Skullface and Undying Apophis. I mean, those are good picks in general, because it's like, who doesn't love Skullface? Because such a good item, so good. Gives penetration and attack at the same time. It's the only really weapon these days for pretty much Oboro. Because what, do you want to use Unidentified Deviation XXX? I think it's ass. Bro, that shit's been ass. Looks like all that armor can't save you now, Nagi. She's blocking bullets with her fucking skull. Abraham Lincoln, eat your heart out. Oh, that was sick. Good job, Felicia. Getting fucking double teamed out here. Look at that. Get him, Sora. I don't even care that's like we're down to the last character. I want Sora to win. Yeah. Give it to a baby. No, Sora. You got overwhelmed again. Yeah, so Sora's Halloween outfit's very good. It's kind of wish I what she looked like in the first place with like the Ninetales situation. It's a better fox costume than what Kiara got. Because I don't think anybody remembers that one. I remember it because it looks really bad. Here it is. Silver Frost Fox. It looks like garbage. Because like she's got 4 tails. They didn't really know what they were doing with that one. They don't actually look like fluffy or anything like that. They look like just... You took the brush tool, made it out, and it's just like there's a 3D effect for you. It looks like Black Cat's Whirlwind, like Kurenai has, but it's just like, okay, we gave her gloves. That's it. They took her pants off. Woo. Then you get Sora over here. They figured out what it takes to make a fox costume. It's like she's gonna be the mythical 9-tailed fox. Okay. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make sure she actually has tails that fit the bill. They look like they're big, they're fluffy. You want to go give them a hug. She's got 9 of those bad bitches. Let's do some math. Hang on, we gotta check it out. Back it up, baby girl. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9. I wish you could dye her hair too. She got a little mask back there. She's looking like Wakamo. Where's the art of that? I want art of Sora and Wakamo together. The masked fox club. The Wakamo's a bit different about that. You can't change her hairstyle because she's got 2 Kisaki balls on the back of her head. She's so cute. I'm glad. It's like, why did she have to release after Rin? Don't put your guys. Don't. If you ever manage to get yourself into like a gacha games director position, don't release your OCs that need all the help they can get against an extremely popular legacy character. Put another legacy character after that. So it's like, if they don't do that well, that's fine. OCs need all the help they can get. I need that bitch in the blue dress. Oh, the AT Golden Opportunity Sales Event. I wonder what her renewal would actually change about her, because most of her skills are like very flexible, and they're good for the good and like on a conceptual level. If anything that they would have to change, where? Yeah, she's at the back, next to Nagi. I would want them to change Flare of Grudge to be much more useful. Like make the reflect, like have a multiplier. If they gave her an Undying Apocalypse, that would just... If they gave her something like on that level, like of Ignis or Undying Apophis, it's like... It would change everybody. Everybody would just go like to Sora and like, oh my god, Sora was a misunderstood character. She was always good in the first place. While that's true, she's actually quite useful in most aspects. People mostly just use her for Celestial Fox because, wow, that's great. That's like 20 or 30 hits. Does a lot of damage. You can use it all the time. She's AI ready. Like she's got bombing run abilities. She's got flow and motion. Like she just needs her animations cleaned up. Like they need to be a little faster, less backswing on a lot of her animations. It would help a lot with her fluidity because she has to finish her almost like 3/4 of her entire dodge animation before she can use it again. Or more or less, she needs to cover more distance with them. Not like with Yudachi, but with like in her general animations, because she already has storage for the string, which is great. I'm so glad that was in there because it makes it so it's like you don't have to just like restart the entire string from the beginning and just like get fucked essentially. Sue and Sora have that, and it makes them really fun to play because of it. They're nice compliments. Like Binding Fox, this could do with like, don't just make it one enemy, make it like 3 enemies or something. Foxfire is another one. It's like because traditionally what I would take is literally just Celestial Fox, Fox Flame, and Fox God Arrow. You only need 3 skills because this is perfect the way it is. It's ranged, it heals a lot. It's skill damage boost, knocks back, has armor. Good skill. This, whatever needs to touch, make it faster. That's it. Just make it like 10% faster. 10% faster on the startup, 5% faster on the end. Beautiful stuff. Kuromacha Archery, that's like, if you have 4 skill slots, that's typically what I take because it's a main modifier, hits a lot. It's multiple projectiles too, so that lets you, no, it's not multi-projectile, it's a big fan. It's good for scooping up people. This is the one that probably needs more help than anything. Because even though it has super armor and has aftershocks, it's effectively the one skill that Shisui uses. But it's like, it's okay at best. If they're going to give her a limited set, it'll probably affect this. Celestial Fox totally carries you when it's starting out. It completes all the hard stages for the first time. It will complete any stage because all Sora has to do is just wait. This is a 14-second cooldown, so you wait like 11 seconds, and it's get this skill off and then dodge. It's like she doesn't need to worry about anything. Then you just fire off Fox God Arrow to break armor and recover, and you're just fine. And in VR, it's really nice because it's like, since she has someone to cover her ass, like, or heal her, she can run Tricolor Celestial Fox. She's one of the best users for, who is it again? It's the new one for, she's good for Choir Phantasma because you can put that green in the main, get constant debuff coverage. She'll always have Celestial Fox going, and she can just, like, you can have Lapis heal or something else. Like, you don't have to worry about her. She's a good girl. She's a winner. Double Fox God's arrows. It's like Fox God's greatest arrow. It shoots 2 of them at once as a follow-up skill. If they really were crazy, they'd make her limited weapon benefit specifically Celestial Fox. But limited weapons for the most part don't, besides Rinko's, don't ever affect anything like besides tricolor signatures. They would do something crazy like increase penetration on Celestial Fox when she has like above 75% health, 75% more health, and it would be like, Jesus. But they would need to check out Foxfire. This needs to be a little bit more of a better cooldown. Maybe do something with like restore each 3% of the HP of the damage dealt by arrows. These arrows deal like 2,000 damage even after all my upgrades. They don't do anything. It's more or less spot healing, but it's like this skill even on release felt useless. Flame of Grudge is a nice defensive utility, but they need to look into it further because a lot of her skills just like they have way too long cooldowns. She is this is a second year character, and you feel it's like it's a product of her time. Because this was like, it was Rin, her, and then Anrose. And Rin does not exactly suffer from having long cooldowns because she has a really fast and strong basic attack to make up for it. Binding Fox Flame, I could honestly do without this. These sort of skills always suck. And even when they do renewals, they don't touch them because they know nobody uses them. But they always have some sort of like really high damage modifier behind them because it's like they need to do high damage because they also need to like, they do high damage so you can get out of there to have armor broken, escape, and reposition. I'd almost say like if they're going to do a limited, how about like they make God's Maw hit twice, keeps its aftershock, and then she can use the recovery portion to reposition herself, similar to Asuka's bomb escape. Because she needs some way to speed herself up to get out of these like long finishing animations. It really kills it for her. No, I was talking about like a limited weapon. Like a limited weapon would be something like limited weapons usually either like break the character or like really shitty. So if we were going to do a renewal weapon for Sora, renewal weapons either specifically benefit one concept or enhance a concept. Like Undying Apocalypse is meant exclusively for Satellite Flare and Supernova. They double the amount of fireballs, but do less damage. And they also have the when above 75% HP, you get a bonus to damage. So, and then we look at something else like Ignis, where it's cooldown reduction. No, we'll think about Ingrid then. Ingrid traditionally really likes to use a lot of skills, move quickly, deal tons of damage, and wants as many attack boosts as possible because she has no healing. So Ignis lets her go all in with... Ignis lets Ingrid have more stacks. She lets her build stacks to deal more damage. On stack max, it explodes for a lot of damage. And then it sets the cooldown. It knocks off cooldown for one of her skills. So it increases Ingrid's inherent ability to consistently keep the pressure on and deal tons and tons of damage. So we need to think about what Sora does in the first place. Sora is specifically a ranged only character. Pretty much no melee from what I could think of. Yeah, she is no melee, so to speak. So she needs to keep the heat on from a distance. She needs to move quickly between shots to reposition herself and consistently deal damage. And she needs a skill and she needs to keep this concept going while constantly keeping something moving. She essentially revolves around Celestial Fox and Fox God's Arrow. So I would almost say like they may give I was gonna say like because Tokiko's one is specifically meant like if it has like Taimanin art series attacks, they have they get a bonus from her weapon. So I was like, okay, what if her renewal weapon specifically benefited visage art stuff? She only has 2 of those. Because she has either her most recurring idea is visage art, where she uses stuff with the Fox God, or she uses her archery abilities, where it's like Kuramachi archery, or like the Shosen or Yudachi. I think they already know that Celestial Fox is very good, and even if it doesn't get upgraded, it's still nice to use. So it's like we would take this with a Tokiko route, since she's typically all about like specific stuff with the theming. So if you take a skill that has Kuramachi archery or uses visage art, they get an attack boost or like a penetration increase or something like that. So that would very much benefit archery, Shosen, and Fox God's Arrow. That would be really nice. Like give it either like a penetration, or even better there, and you got it, is a percent chance proc to remove buffs. This doesn't work very well on Arrow because it's only one attack. However, it's a nice thing to have at 10%. You can remove a buff on hit. God's Maw would be really good for it too, because it's the initial hit and then aftershocks for 3 times. Shosen would be the one for it to use, because every, I'd say 8 seconds, like 7 or 8 seconds, you're able to shoot 4. You would shoot 3 arrows, and then if you have green main, it's 7 times, so it's a 7. You have 7 chances every time you use the skill to remove a buff. Well, that's really great. And Yudachi would be 5 times. So it would give her the ability to have team utility with... It would give her a team utility in the fact that she can remove buffs. It would only be useful in something like... Now, it would be useful in VR. It would be obviously, and also useful in the arena. But she still gets pretty fucked up in the arena, because like she just can't compete with something like Emily or something that runs up in her face and hits her for 10,000 damage. There certainly is a lot to think about if you would make a renewal weapon in the first place. Because, like, let's go back to Kurenai and see what she has. Where are you? Miss Karini, where are you? Girl, you still got gear equipped. I didn't think you'd run that far. Oh, there you are. So infrared and ultraviolet, it takes the concept of Kurenai's basic string, makes it faster, inflicts her unique debuff, and when the attack generated by Windscar gets 100% penetration, and it does double damage. So that just goes back to the concept of what exactly is Sora good at. She's good at shooting things. So I imagine if it's like, if she got a renewal, they'd probably do something like what Shiranui's Ithaqua does. It's like, they'd retool some of the descriptions. Yeah, that would work. They would do something like Shiranui's, where it's like it's a theming related something. Either the like it shoots like an ethereal items or something like that, like ethereal arrows, or uses a fox, or conjures up God's abilities, like God's Arrow, God's Maw, Foxfire, stuff like that. But it's now been 3.5 hours. I've got to go to work tomorrow. Thank you everybody for stopping by. It's been a very good time today. We cleared everything we wanted to do. I certainly got a lot done as well. And we got ready for Azusa as well. Next time though, you'll see me, we'll be checking out new Azusa as well. She's got a lot going on, and I can already tell it's I'm excited to see what she does mechanically. And obviously everybody's excited because we now have a sequel to Rinko as a character. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally here. We've been moving things forward, and it certainly does feel like a year. But I'm excited, to say the least. I always love seeing a new character. It brings in everybody, and we also have a lot of fun with it as well. Thank you once again, everybody, for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.